Hello, welcome to Better English in Tacoma. My name is Linda, and today we're starting a series of videos on effective communication. Today will be our introduction. Basically, communication has two components to it, nonverbal message and a verbal message. Nonverbal communication has several components to it. The first that we'll talk about is tone of voice. And this is basically the expression, the tone that you're using when you speak. It may be very loud or it may be very soft. You may be angry or you might be cheerful or you might sound harsh. So tone of voice communicates more than just the words. Another aspect of nonverbal communication is your facial expression. And we see this in text and emoticons. So you might have a happy expression, you might have a sad expression, you might be feeling crazy or angry or laughing hysterically or maybe exasperated at someone. Posture plays a part in our nonverbal communication as well. If someone is standing tall with their head up, you might feel that they're confident. If someone is slouching or looking down, then you might feel that they are shy or lazy or tired. Body language is important as well. If someone is sitting with their arms crossed, they might communicate that they're closed. If they're not looking towards you or they're turning away, then that it communicates something to you, even though they're not saying anything. And the last part of nonverbal communication is eye contact. In America, most people expect you to look at them when you're speaking to them. And sometimes you'll even see adults kneel down to talk to a child, and you might even hear them say, "Look at me when I'm talking to you." So these nonverbal messages need to agree for your communication to be effective. If you have a very cheerful expression, but you're talking with an angry tone of voice, it's going to be confusing to your listener because they're getting mixed messages. If your body language says that you're hostile, yet your facial expression is welcoming, that again will be confusing to your listener. So it's important that all aspects of your nonverbal communication are in agreement. Now, we also have verbal communication, and like nonverbals, there are several components to it. The first is your vocabulary, and that's just choosing the best word for the intended meaning. So we could take a simple word like walk, and we could use that depending on a lot of different types of walking. There's a difference between a march and a stroll, or between a hike and sauntering. So choosing words that are specific to your intended meaning can help with your communication. It's also important that you have correct pronunciation. That's just saying the words correctly. And we have several videos on pronunciation that you're welcome to watch. Another component of the verbal aspects of communication is your grammar, and that's using correct sentence structure and word usage. And the last component of verbal communication is intonation. And this is the pitch, stress, and rhythm of your speech. And in later parts of this series, we'll be talking quite a bit about different aspects of intonation. We saw that all of the aspects of nonverbal communication need to be in agreement, and in a similar fashion, all aspects of verbal communication are important. If you have good vocabulary, but you're not pronouncing the words correctly or using correct sentence structure, then your message is not going to be clear. So, communication consists of nonverbal and verbal communication. And just like your nonverbal components need to be in agreement, your nonverbal and verbal communication needs to be in agreement. If it's not, your message is going to be confusing. So if there's a mismatch, maybe between your facial expression and the words that you're saying, then your message is going to be confused. Or if there's a mismatch between your tone of voice and the words, that will be the same problem. So for effective communication, you want to use both verbals and nonverbals, and you want the message that's being communicated with both your expression, body language, tone of voice, and your words and your usage to be in agreement so that your message is understood correctly. So please be watching future videos. Our next video is going to talk in more depth about intonation so that you can learn about that pitch, stress, and rhythm of speech. Have a great day, and we hope to see you again on Better English in Tacoma.